Okay, my name is Jazz Whoops Jr. It's Copavic number 2. Making this video because I did post something up on Facebook that might sound a little bit racist. So, I'm making this video to clarify, because one, being that I'm a person of multiculturalness, I don't have the right to be a racist. Regardless of what everyone else says, if you are mixed, you don't have the right to be a racist. Remember that. So, I went to this thing, and there was a symbol with the dude that had a sign on it that said, if you could go back to the 80s, would you stay or come back? And I said that I would stay. So let me give you guys a little bit of rundown of the 80s real quick for when I was a young man. I hadn't, depending on what year of the 80s, I hadn't reached the teenage part of the 80s. But when I was younger, a lot of black kids didn't really get kidnapped. If we got kidnapped, we got killed. We didn't get the opportunity to be held for ransom because we don't make good bargaining chips. Which is why, for the record known, not unknown, but for the record known, excuse me, we got to mute the TV. For the record known, in the 80s in Virginia, more known cases of kids being kidnapped were mostly white children being kidnapped by some asshole in a white van. Like a Centel van or a mail van or some kind of big cargo type van, but not like the big UPS vans or any of that shit, just a regular ass van. But people would come by, slide the door open, snatch your ass in, and that would be the last day ever seeing you. Now, for the record, in Virginia, not too many of those cases known have been black. Most of the cases where they happen known has been white kids that have been kidnapped by white people in white vans. Now, we have known that maybe one or two black kids were kidnapped. They were probably killed because they were never seen from or heard from again. Now, I can't fact check this shit, but I know when the summertime came and my dad got off at 3, after 3, I was not allowed to ride my bike out of the neighborhood of Riverview in Smithville. I could ride to uh, Joe Cotton's house, and I could ride to the school and the library, but I couldn't leave the entire block of Riverview. I had to come all the way back to his house, and I could only be out until dusk. So at about 4:35ish, my ass needed to be riding all back home. And whenever we seen white vans in Smithville, we booked it the fuck home. Now, Charlottesville, on the other hand, I couldn't leave the fucking projects after school. Alright? So after school, no white vans really came in the projects. Because I lived in West Haven, we didn't have white vans come through, so we could run the fuck out of the projects. I mean, we stayed out till 8 or 9 o'clock in the 4th and 3rd and even the 2nd grade sometimes. We just stayed the fuck out because we were project kids. The only dangers we had was other project kids. So if that came out sounding like a racist for what I said on Facebook, I'm not a racist. I'm just pointing out that in Virginia, specifically in Charlottesville, the ones that I know of, most of the kids that have been kidnapped by white vans were white kids. Because our parents always told us, don't talk to strangers. Not everybody's a stranger, but if it's not a school teacher or a police officer, then you probably shouldn't trust them, and you're not supposed to take candy from anybody. Alright? So, in case that goes crazy with my thing on Facebook, I'm covering my ass now. I didn't want to sound like a racist when I texted it, so I texted it kids of non-color, which was me saying white kids were generally the ones that got kidnapped by white people in white vans. And I grew up in the era where Adam Walsh got kidnapped in Florida. Alright? So, black kids, we didn't really get kidnapped because, hell, our own parents didn't want us. No one else is going to kidnap us. And we don't make good bargaining chips. If a person of color is kidnapped, they're generally kidnapped by a person who really just don't like people of color. And to kill the future, they kill the kid. And that's the hardcore, honest truth right there. Black kids didn't really get kidnapped, like talking about it. And if they did, their bodies were found. Most of the time when a kid of color got kidnapped, it was either, if it was like a Mexican kid or a Chinese kid, they were kidnapped by one of their own. And generally it was somebody who was in their family, like a dad kidnapping the son and moving to another state. It was some shit like that. But most of the time when I was younger, the white van, when people kidnap people, they only kidnap white kids. So I hopefully explained to you that I wasn't trying to be racist about it. I was just putting it out there the way it is. I'm James with you. Cover Happy number 2. I'm probably going to post this on Facebook just to cover my ass. Be seeing you.